Hello friends, this is another lecture on application of partial differential equation. In today's lecture we will study two-dimensional heat flow. What is two-dimensional heat flow? When the heat flow is along curve instead of along a straight line, all the curve lying in parallel planes, then the flow is called two-dimensional. That is, in mathematical we can represent it as del u over del t is equals to c square del 2u over del x square plus del 2u over del y square. In steady state, del u over del t is equals to 0. That implies this will convert into del 2u over del x square plus del 2u over del y square equals to 0. This equation is also known as Laplace equation. This equation is also known as Laplace equation. Now we will study a problem based on this particular phenomena. The first question is, a rectangular plate with insulated surface is 10 cm wide and so long compared to its width that it may be considered infinite in length without introducing an appreciable error. If the temperature along the short edge y equals to 0 is ux0 equals to 20x when x lie between 0 to 5 and 20 10 minus x when x lie between 5 to 10, while the two long edges x equals to 0 and x equals to 10 as well as the other short edges are kept at 0. Find the steady state temperature at any point xy of the plate. So first we have to identify whether this is the problem of one-dimensional heat flow or two-dimensional heat flow. Since we are talking about a rectangular plate, so rectangular plate always has two dimensions. One is x-axis and another is y-axis. So this is the problem of two-dimensional heat flow. So let its standard equation is del u over del t equals to c square del 2u over del x square plus del 2u over del y square. But we have to find temperature in steady state. So we have to consider the problem in steady state. So in steady state, del u over del t equals to 0. So the equation will convert into del 2u over del x square or del 2u over del y square equals to 0. So let it equation number 1 for this particular problem. Now we have to identify some boundary condition. Read this particular problem. While the two long edges x equals to 0 and x equals to 10 as well as the other short edges are kept at 0 degree. That is, the first condition is u0y is equals to 0, u10y is equals to 0 and other short edges are kept at 0. And what we are comparing, a rectangular plate with insulated surface is 10 cm wide and so long compared to its width that it may be considered infinite in length. That is, the width may be infinite and which is also at 0. That is, x infinite is also equals to 0. And the last one is ux0 is equals to 20x when x lie between 0 to 5 and 20 10 minus x when x lie between 5 to 10. So this is the complete problem, that is, we have to solve this particular partial differential equation for these boundary conditions. So let its solution be u equals to capital X into capital Y small y. That is, capital X is the function of small x only and capital Y is the function of small y. Now we have to differentiate partially with respect to x then with respect to y. That is, on differentiating we get del 2u over del x square is equals to capital Y d2 capital X upon d small x square and del 2u over del y square is equals to capital X d2 capital Y upon d small y square. So put in 1. that is capital Y d2 capital X upon dx square plus capital X d2 capital Y upon dy square is equals to 0. Now on separating the variable, 1 upon x d2 capital X upon d small x square is equals to minus 1 upon y d2 capital Y upon d small y square. Now we have to let it equals to k, and k have three different cases. One is k is less than 0, second is k is equals to 0, and third one is k is greater than 0. And we always know the most appropriate solution arises when k is less than 0, that is at k equals to minus p square. So we let it equals to minus p square. So this is first, second and third. From first and third, 1 upon x d2 capital X upon dx square is equals to minus p square, or we can write it as d square plus p square capital X equals to 0. So this is ODE, so we can solve it as the same manner, that is we get m is equals to plus minus iota p. So from there we get capital X equals to c1 cos px plus c2 sin px. Again from second and third, minus 1 upon y d2 capital Y upon dy square is equals to minus p square, or we can write it as d square minus p square capital Y is equals to 0. So on solving in the same manner, we get y equals to c3 e raised to power py plus c4 e raised to power minus py. So on replacing this capital X and capital Y in equation number 2, we get u equals to c1 cos px plus c2 sin px into c3 e raised to power py plus c4 e raised to power minus py. So this is equation number 3. In this particular condition, we can take negative with this or negative with this particular condition. That is, we have to identify whether we have to take negative with the x or with the y. So we have to identify from the boundary condition which condition is variable. The last condition is variable and this condition is 4 when y equals to 0. That is, we have to take the negative with the yth term. That is, we have to take exponential condition in the form of y. So for this we have to take negative with the y. So now we have to solve this particular case, this particular solution for this boundary condition. So at x equals to 0, u equals to 0. What do we get? C1 is equals to 0. When we put u equals x equals to 0, then cos 0 1, sin 0 0. So C1 into this particular bracket. But we cannot put this bracket equals to 0. So from here C1 is equals to 0. So put in 3. U equals to C2 sin px, C3 e raised to power py plus C4 e raised to power minus py. So this is equation number 4. Now we have to apply the second condition, that is at x equals to 10, u is equals to 0. So C2 sin 10p, C3 e raised to power py plus C4 e raised to power minus py is equals to 0. So from here we can only put sin 10p is equals to 0. That is, sin 10p is equals to sin n pi. So from here 10p is equals to n pi, or we can say p equals to n pi by 10. So put in 4. What do we get? U is equals to C2 sin n pi x by 10, C3 e raised to power n pi by 10 plus C4 e raised to power minus n pi y upon 10. So this is equation number 5. Now we have to use the third boundary condition, that is at y equals to infinite, u equals to 0. It implies C2 sin n pi x by 10, C3 is equals to 0. C3 is equals to 0. So from equation number 5, u equals to c2 c4 e raised to power minus n pi by 10 sin n pi x by 10. Putting c2 c4 is equals to sigma b. So u is equals to sigma n equals to 1 to infinite bn e raised to power n pi y upon 10 sin n pi x upon 10. So this is equation number 6. Now we have to use the last boundary condition for this particular case. So bn is equals to 2 by c integral 0 to c fx sin n pi x upon c dx. And what is c? C is equals to 10. So bn is equals to 2 by 10 integral 0 to 5. Now we can convert it into the two different limits, that is 0 to 5 20x sin n pi x upon 10 dx plus integral 5 to 10 20 10 minus x sin n pi x upon 10 dx. So these are the product of two functions. So we can find the solution after applying ILAT. So on solving, we get the solution 800 upon n square pi square sin n pi by 2 minus 400 upon n square pi square sin n pi. Or we can write it as bn is equals to, if n equals to odd, then this will be sin pi by 2, sin 3 pi by 2, sin 4 pi by 2, sin 5 pi by 2, sin 7 pi by 2. So the value of this particular function will be positive, negative, positive, negative. So we can write the value will be in the form of plus minus 800 upon n square pi square, and this will be 0. And when n equals to even, then that is 2, 4, 6. So sin n pi, that is sin pi, sin 2 pi, sin 4 pi is also 0, and this is also equals to 0. So this is equals to 0. So from equation number 6, u is equals to sigma n equals to 1 to infinite plus minus 800 upon n square pi square e raised to power minus n pi by upon 10 sin n pi x upon 10 at n equals to odd. So this is the complete solution of this kind of problem. Hope you understand the content of this particular lecture. If you like this lecture, then like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.